She had these people send me a letter. Because mind you, I worked 2 jobs. And at that time, I was working heavily at community. So I would leave at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
nighttime, get home at 10 p.m. nighttime. I got a letter from the HOA because somebody's singular piece of cardboard flew into my yard. And I got a letter from the HOA because I had an unsightly object in my front yard.
Your front yard that don't got a gate, they could have just picked it up. There's not even a gate in the front.
I was like...
So they seen the cardboard. Typed up an email.
Not an email. A letter.
Printed it. Walked past the cardboard. And put it on your door.
Oh. They didn't walk past. They actually mailed it.
No, they did.
They did mail it. So we've talked about my neighbors before.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know about nobody else, but I don't think anybody has worse neighbors than me. I really don't.
I think they do. I think yours are just slightly annoying. I think they're just slightly annoying.
Slightly annoying.
I mean, well, what they did last week was a little extra. But
so, no, what they've been doing since they moved in here has been extra. I was actually talking to my nephew about my neighbors. And I'm like, I can't stand either of them. First of all, let's start with the first one. The least annoying out of all of them is the old lady that lives literally on the left side.
You didn't come outside. I have never seen her.
Well, according to her, she went to my brother and told my brother that she thinks I'm mean because apparently she knows my brother.
How she know your brother? She literally don't be outside.
Working for the same company. And yeah, I didn't know that when her ass moved over here. But she apparently went to him, told him that she thinks I'm mean, to which he then comes and tells me like I give a fuck. And I said, why would that woman think I'm mean? I don't ever even see this woman. Yeah. So I'm a little confused. And he said that this woman proceeded to tell him that she thinks I'm mean because she speaks to me and I don't speak back. I said, so nothing told her that maybe I don't see her? I said, because I'm failing to understand, where does this woman see me to speak to me? Because when I get home, I pull that Jeep right into that garage. I do not come out of it. I get out my Jeep, I close the garage door and go right into my house. So when does this woman see me? And if she's waving at me while I am in the process of pulling into my garage, chances are I don't see you.
My thing is, I come, and I ain't never seen her neither. When I came in the daytime, I ain't seen her. When I come in nighttime, I have never seen her. And you know, when I went through my little thing where I was hiding, I didn't see it in. So where she be at?
Exactly.
Like
hiding behind the bushes or something?
I mean, somebody there, the grass cut. But I ain't never seen her.
I was just like, okay, so she reporting back to you for what reason?
Well, she think that I'm gonna say hey because you said
I'm like,
something.
what are you? Do she want me to come knock on her door when I get home every day to say hello, just letting you know I made it home?
She want you bake her a pie.
Baking her shit.
Bake her a shit pie from the hip.
Shut up. That was disgusting.
It was genius. Pie. It was genius, and that lady deserved it.
I ain't say she didn't deserve it, but that still was nasty.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to use none of my utensils no more. Like I done made a shit pie with all this. I don't want it.
I need new stuff. But I think she used the woman stuff, didn't she?
I didn't think too much about it.
Oh, well, anyway. So that's neighbor number 1. Neighbor number 2.
Who's worse than number 1?
She is a part of the fucking HOA.
Oh yeah, her
With the messed up wig. Yes. You ain't gotta say it, I say it. She is a part of our HOA. And she's not terrible. Although she act like I don't know, she the one that be telling on me about my damn lawn.
She the HOA. We
She
know she
definitely know.
telling.
And at first I didn't know who it was until she came knocking on my door one day asking me to sign some damn petition so that we can increase the height of our fence if we decide to get one. Because I think at one point it was only like 4 feet.
That's stupid.
I said, why the hell would anybody want a 4-foot fence?
It's a waste of money and time.
I said, I am 5'9". I don't want to be able to just look over my fence like that. I need to get on my tippy toes.
The point of the fence is to keep people out, not to keep your dogs in. It's to keep people out.
I'm like,
because I'm getting an 8-foot bad boy. You can't tell me nothing.
I want to have to jump to see over that fence.
I'm getting the 8-foot bad boy.
So I signed her little petition, and that's when she told me she was on with the HOA. And I said,
you the one telling on me,
the snitch. Yeah. So, girl, she had these people send me a letter. Because, mind you, I worked 2 jobs. And at that time, I was working heavily at community. So I would leave at 6 a.m. Nighttime. Get home at 10 p.m. nighttime. I got a letter from the HOA because somebody's singular piece of cardboard flew into my yard. And I got a letter from the HOA because I had an unsightly object in my front yard.
Your front yard that don't got a gate, they could have just picked it up. There's not even a gate in the front.
I was like...
So they seen the cardboard. Typed up an email.
Not an email. A letter.
Printed it. Walked past the cardboard. And put it on your door.
Oh. They didn't walk past. They actually mailed it.
No, they did.
They did mail it.
From across the street?
Girl, I was
like... Ain't the HOA in your development?
No, they're not, but they're in Indiana. They're in Indianapolis. And I was... Because we have the HOA meetings literally down the street from here. And I was like, so... all this for a singular flat piece of cardboard.
Yeah, but that wasn't even my trash in the first place.
It wasn't even my trash because I ain't got not a
damn box. I only come at nighttime. I ain't even see the damn cardboard.
Right. I'm like, I can't see the shit because when I leave it's dark. When I get home it's dark. I don't know it's there. Yeah, got a letter about it.
The effort for that letter was more effort than to just pick it up.
Put it in your trash bin. At that time, I kept my trash bins outside my garage.
And they complained about that.
Put it in the trash bin.
They complained about that.
And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And she's also the one that keeps reporting back to me what everybody else in this neighborhood is doing. I'm like, lady.
You signed that one petition. That's what you get. You shouldn't have signed it.
I was like,
you like, but I do want a high fence, so I signed it.
Yeah, because when I do get a fence built, I do want it to be a high fence. So yes, let's do that. But what y'all could start doing, charging us a part of the HOA fees for a pond that don't exist in this neighborhood.
I still don't get that because there is no pond.
There is no pond in this neighborhood, but a part of our HOA fees is pond maintenance.
So who getting paid with that?
We getting pond maintenance fees, but we have no snow removal.
Like I said, whose salary getting paid with that pond? Because there is no pond, but we can't get no snow money. All you gotta do is just allocate that money that was for that invisible pond and make that for the snow.
I would have loved to have lived on a pond. Where is it?
Track bugs.
Well, you know I'm terrified of bugs. We had a whole episode talking about that. But yeah, I was just like, lady, leave me alone. She keep asking me if my brother can patrol over here.
Why does everybody in the world know? Like, this is what is perplexing me.
Hello?
How do they all know?
No, my brother.
His profession, how do they all know?
Because
Does he
she
pull up in the car?
Cause I think she's either related or really good friends with the old lady that worked with my brother. And I keep thinking to myself, well, if you know her old ass, why don't you ask her to ask him instead of coming to me because you know he my sister? And I also wonder, how did you find out that was my brother?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do they all know? That is my question.
I'm starting to feel like people be having meetings about us. Like, I'm like, how? Because I don't recall telling this woman.
Like this?
Yeah. I'm like, I think my brother has had his squad car here all of one time.
Well, she knows. You see, I left my car on. She came out, see if I was in my. I said, oh my gosh, she's looking at me.
Now she looking at me.
I was like, she know this car on. She hears the fucking music. She knows I'm in here. And I forget why I was even in there and not
You
in
was
your
on the
house.
damn phone.
Oh, yeah, I was talking to one day on the phone.
But
That's right.
I was like, I said, this lady.
I said, she see me.
She came knocking on my door at like 8:00 at night one day. I opened my door. And she was like, can you call your brother and ask him to come over here because these kids they're sitting over here and they got guns. And I was just like, did you see a gun?
Ma'am.
And she was like, I know they got guns. And I was just like, I said, okay.
Did you see it, girl?
I said, okay, I'm going to call him. And I proceeded to close my door and go sit back on my couch. I said, see, this is how people be losing their lives. Mind your business.
And the thing, like, yeah, when you simply said, well, did you see a gun? I know they got AK. You didn't see not one gun. They are teenagers who are hanging out. Please leave them alone. Please leave them alone.
I'm going to sit back on my damn couch. When I hear the first gunshot, that's when I will call somebody. And I damn sure ain't calling my brother. I'm going to call 911.
Someone,
and honestly, I'm probably not even going to call 911.
Why?
I'm going to be like, well, somebody's shooting. Because it ain't got shit to do with me.
Tell them. Okay.
Shut up, Jay. Can't stand you. You better not sing that song not one more damn time.
You know I am. You gonna be talking. I'm just gonna be
a legend. I was going. I had to stop myself from actually saying that so many times. I was like, Jocelyn, don't you sing this song because all you're doing is encouraging her. I can't stand you.
Anywho.
Yes. So that's the second neighbor. Now the third and final. And the worst of them all, I am surrounded, is the people to the right. They, one, are nasty.
Yeah, I've witnessed it. It was nasty.
I mean, based off how their garage look, I'm like, y'all are nasty.
But a lot of people use their garages as like a storage unit.
To me, it seems more like a episode of Hoarders.
Because Victor's show took over our garage. Not a car's in there. Not a singular car.
Y'all actually got room to like walk around and shit in y'all garage.
Well, yeah, Victor got a little table in there. Yeah. He be hanging out in there.
Have you seen their garage?
Yes, I was.
It is literally filled to the very front with just shit. It's
I couldn't believe it was basketball. It was just crazy, man. I was like, because one day it was open. Mm-hmm. And I said, they gonna bring my friend mice.
Literally. And then got the nerve. And the other thing that annoys me about them is they have 4, sometimes 5 cars sitting out there. It is only 2 adults that live in there.
I wondered. I was like, how many people live in that house? It is
2 adults and like 4 kids. And I'm like, and they because they don't park in their garage and they only do SUVs, and for some reason they think these driveways is much bigger than they are.
It's like 4
their cars hang off of their driveways into the street, and I'm like, so
what ain't your way to come get y'all? They bugging me about a piece of cardboard, but they allowing
this? Exactly. I'm like, so the HOA lady don't see you, huh? But then when I was out, because I thought that, we was getting bombs dropped on us when that air show was happening, and the HOA lady was talking to me, and I was talking to her about how I ain't never talked to her. She's like, oh yeah, you should talk to them. They're really nice people. Give a damn how nice they are.
Them kids bad. They ain't nice.
So let me tell you when it started. It started with they damn kids. Never met these kids a day in my life. Barely even knew of their existence. And I'm sitting in my house, inside my house. I have my patio door open so that my cat can look outside, get her some nice cat TV. And I am laying on my couch taking a nap. It was actually a perfect day. Then something tells me, wake up. And when I wake up, something goes, look at your patio door. And I turned my head, and you know what I saw? I saw their child standing directly in front of my patio door.
That's creepy.
Hands to his head against my patio door, looking all through my house.
Weird.
I
I'd have threw a shoe at that damn door. I'd have took my shoe off and threw it at that damn door. Goddamn door. Gotta do the babies like that.
I said, my dog. It scared the shit out of him. And what he did was he stepped back and he went and stood at the edge of my patio.
Get away from my patio.
And I'm sitting there looking like he's thinking about something. So then I go, keep going. And then he runs off. So then
that was weird.
Call me petty. I don't give a shit. I am petty. And everybody can get it. Couple days later, I'm standing outside in back of my house. And I see one of his little balls that came over into my yard. I kicked that motherfucker for a field goal. I said, you'll never see that damn ball again. Come looking in my house again. I don't care.
That was weird though. So you asleep. And while you was asleep, he looking in your house.
And I just want to make sure before people come at me about this is not no little 5-year-old. This is somebody that had to be a good 11, 12 years old.
He knew better.
He old enough to know better. So that's first time. This boy, I've caught this dude looking in my house twice. Once was when I had my patio door open. Once was when I just had my blinds just slightly open. And I looked up and he was looking in the blinds. I said, get your little peeping Tom. So now, when my office was at the front of the house, I'm sitting there, I'm in a meeting. And it was a nice day. So I opened my shades, opened my window, letting air in. It was a nice day. Why am I sitting in that meeting? I turn my head to the left and look out the window because I ain't got shit to say on this call. So I'm just zoning out. This time it was maybe like a little 5-year-old. I see her come walking into my field of vision. She see me, I see her. You know I don't fuck with kids, so I'm ignoring her. She's with an adult. Tell me why. They came from the neighbor's house. Tell me why this little girl proceeds to not only run up my yard, but also into my flower bed, bushes and stuff, and comes right up to my window and just stands there and looks at me.
Adult. Come
Literally,
get that little girl.
My eyes went back and forth. The adult was standing at the sidewalk at my yard, not saying a word to her. My eyes went from him to her, to him to her, and I'm like, and of course, like I said, I'm on this call, and I just point to her like, get your child. What? So y'all just think this is okay?
When I tell you I would have muted myself so quick, mute. Get your daughter out of my bush.
And I'm like, all this is telling me is that y'all think this behavior is okay.
Why you got a family of peeping Toms? My God, what's going on over there?
I said, y'all apparently think this is okay.
Even
and this
the
is
little
not
girl
okay.
involved. That's weird. Like, we live right next door. My house ain't that different than we live in the same cul-de-sac.
So now that brings me to last week.
Mm-hmm.
I am sitting in my bedroom, and all of a sudden I keep hearing something in my house. And honestly, I thought something was in my attic. So I was like, God, please don't let a raccoon or something
Some
made
big
its
in
way up into
now.
my attic, because
You
I
can't get
really
them out
don't.
once they get in.
I don't feel like dealing with it. I really don't. But then something was like, oh, I could also hear the neighbors' kids, and they just built a fence. But I'm like, I can hear them outside, but there's no way that that's them. So I look at my cameras, because, I got cameras literally all over this house. Open up the camera app, pull up the camera that's on the side of the house that is making the noise. I could have fell when I saw what them kids was doing. I see one of these little kids throwing something over their fence and hitting my house with it.
I like cut off the camera so quick. My shoes at badass.
What I did was, because my camera allows me to talk, so I hit the talk button and I said, stop throwing whatever that is at my house.
See, I'm petty. I would just start. I would knock on the door. Your kids throwing shit, so don't be surprised
Well,
when I start throwing shit back at your house.
if I'm being completely transparent, I was on the toilet.
Too late, couldn't get up.
So
you like, wait till I'm done. It's over for y'all.
Right, which is why I tried to just talk to him. But then even after I did that, he throws it again. I hear it hit my house. Look, this might be TMI. I got so mad, I don't even remember if I wiped. I got the fuck up and I went and knocked on their damn door. And first it took them forever to come to the door. And when the woman finally did come, I said, can you tell your son to stop throwing whatever it is he's throwing over y'all fence and hitting my house with it? And then she said, oh, is he throwing stones at your house? I said, he's throwing something. And then she proceeds to go, well, my name is this. I don't think we've met each other. And I proceeded to go, lady, no offense, but I don't care who you are. Tell your child to stop throwing stuff at my house.
No, I don't care who you.
Jay, here's what my thought was. Lady, if I've been here for damn near 3 years and you've been here for damn near 2, and you ain't met me yet, chances are I don't care who you are.
Get your babies.
Get your kid in check. That's all I'm asking you. I don't give a damn about nothing else. Your 50 million cars, your messed up garage, keep that all to yourself. Your 4 kids, keep them to yourself. Tell him to stop doing whatever he doing throwing at my house. So I then proceed to pull up my camera and I watch her go talk to him. Do you know this little bad MFer proceeds to throw another stone at my house?
And that's when I would have threw a rock at his motherfucking head. I don't care. Get your kids.
I didn't even have a chance to before she was back out there talking to him, and she made him go in the house. And I said, my neighbors get on my damn nerves.
Well, at least she did something about it. Well, I don't know what she did. If what she did was brought him inside, at least it stopped.
Badass kids.
What would possess
This is why I
him?
wanted to live in a senior living place.
I done told you. You know you can't do that.
They need to open that up. They need to at
That's
least
called apartments. What? That's literally called apartments, Justin.
They need to make it where at least if you work there, you have the option to live there.
No, because old people still have sex lives and we don't have time.
I'd be a damn groundskeeper.
We got to watch out and protect the elderly people from perverts.
Do a background check.
There's a lot of perverts who clean background checks.
Well, I ain't one of them, and I want to live in a skilled, not skilled nursing, a nursing home.
Assisted living.
Yes, assisted living.
You gotta be old for that.
Well, to some people, I am.
You gotta be 55 and older.
They need to lower the age.
No, they don't. I think they make exceptions for like disabled people.
Well, shit. I just found out that ADHD can be considered a disability. Watch me file for it and go live with it.
Now, I think it makes stuff a little harder, but do I feel it's a disability? I feel like disability is a little bit of a stretch.
Actually, because like I said, I'm looking for a
But I
job
don't
right
have
now, and
severe, but I don't know nobody with severe ADHD, so I guess that could be limiting, you know?
well, I think it's also all the stuff that comes with ADHD, like the anxiety, the depression, all the things that typically accompanies it. I think that's part of what makes it a disability. Because yeah, I didn't realize that it was either though until I was filling out job applications, and they say, the thing they ask you if you have any disabilities, and it lists ADHD as one of them.
Interesting.
And I was like,
I'm gonna look that up.
I said I should put yes, but I don't. I say no because my ADHD, I don't think is that severe. But I was like, I should put yes.
I don't think I got it. You keep telling me I do.
Don't sit there and lie, Jay. You think you got it too. You just don't want to go get the test to see.
I got enough to do. I don't got time. Like, that's how I feel. I have enough.
You have said way too many times, maybe I do have ADHD, for you to not think you don't have ADHD.
I ain't in the mood for a new diagnosis. I'm cool with the one I got.
Girl, what one? High blood pressure?
Yep. And I'm cool with that little one I got, my little 5 milligrams of medication. I don't want nothing else.
You funny.
I got enough. I go to that pharmacy to pick that one little prescription up.
Oh, that reminds me, I'm supposed to go get vitamin D.
Once every 90 days?
Yeah, apparently I found out.
That's what you short in?
I didn't know this before I had the hysterectomy, but apparently hysterectomy, when you have a hysterectomy, low vitamin D is like a thing for women.
Yeah, I thought they was gonna make you take a multivitamin.
She actually put me on vitamin D because it was so low. So yeah, that prescription probably been put back by now.
When they write the
I called them last weekend and told them to fill it. I just never went and picked it up. And I probably got until Saturday.
Yeah, you got time.
It's fine. I don't care anyway.
10 to 14, depending on the place. You alright. You alright.
But yeah, I do need to go pick that up.
Sometimes they lazy and it's just there because nobody get it.
And I don't even care that it made me low in vitamin D. Still got the histo.
I still want to do it.
You should. I'm telling you.
I'm sick of suffering every month for nothing. I don't even want no more.
People will hate me for this, or maybe they won't. Maybe
they hate us already. Say what you gotta say.
Actually, a lot of people won't, because any woman that I know that has had a hysterectomy, they say it is one of the best decisions they've made in their life. And I wholeheartedly agree with that.
And I'm just trying to get on the train. That's all I want it so bad. Like, so bad. I'm like, I'm sick of this.
I'm telling you, I have no regrets about getting that hysterectomy. I'm so happy I did it.
Girl, so bad. Every month I'm just mad. Like, why won't they just give me? I don't care if I got to pay out of pocket for that surgery. Put me on a payment plan. I don't.
There's a lot of women that I know that wants hysterectomies and their doctors won't do it for them. I mean, and I get why the doctors are hesitant on,
because they don't want to just be taking out body parts just because you don't want them. Blase.
Yeah, because people do also change their mind, and they're like, I don't want you coming after me if you decide.
To me, if you already got your tubes tied, and I got mine removed. The step above tied. Too. Them things don't even exist. I had to take a picture of them mugs on the table. So
I wanted her to actually show me.
No, she can't do that. I wanted
her to put them in a jar and show me.
She can't legally do that.
Why? I don't think they do it with gallstones.
I don't know why, but I don't think they can do that.
They do it with other stuff. I am just a weird person, apparently.
I mean, what would you do with it?
I just wanted to see it.
Then it would throw it away?
Then do whatever. Give it to science. I don't care.
I did that with my placenta. Is that weird? I gave it to science. Some nasties eat it. I didn't want to eat it.
If I were to have a baby,
I gave mine to science.
and get rid of the placenta and all that jazz, I wouldn't eat it, but I would be open to turning it into capsules. I would be open to that.
Why?
Because there's a lot of nutrients in it. And I'm not going to sit there and like eat it, like chewing it. I can't do that. But to put it in a capsule form and just
that's what they
pop
do.
it
A
with a
lot of
glass of
people do
water.
that.
Yeah, I know.
See, I did it. I was like, I can save babies with my stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna
Or
do
I
it.
can get myself more vitamins. Looks like I'm getting more vitamins.
I was like, you know what's an
They better do half and half. The babies, they can have half and I'll take half.
Well, I donated mine.
I like to think that I'm not incredibly selfish.
And I don't know why you would like to think that. Because I'm in denial. You're giving, but that don't mean you ain't selfish. You can be both. Because you're very giving, but then you're also very selfish.
Well, because when you said you don't, like, I know if I was in that situation, I wouldn't donate it.
I did. I said, what I'm going to do with it?
I
didn't want to consume it, so I said, I don't want to consume
I'm going to put it in a capsule and I'm going to take it for my health benefits.
I didn't want to.
That's what I'm going to do with it.
My body healed itself them 6 weeks. It was crazy.
Well, after my hysterectomy, I was healed after a week.
No, I'm talking about it was other stuff I had going on that was completely gone by my 6-week appointment. I said, well, giving birth really do, but your body just heal itself. Because there was other issues that were gone.
Nah, I'm good on that. Kids that never been a fan.
Don't recommend. Dang.
Don't get me wrong.
Dang. What the little kiddies do?
I was also one of the babysitters in my family too.
That's what it really is. I think if you were never a babysitter and you just seen kids and went, how cute, you probably would feel differently about it.
And this is gonna sound bad.
What you finna say?
So kids are like cats to me. So you know how people that don't like cats, when they go to somebody's house that has cats, the cats always find a way to be around them.
And they like, I hate your cat.
Yeah, but some reason it's always in my face.
Because it knows you hate it. Because that's how cats are. They're petty.
Kids do the same thing with me. And I'm like, I don't understand what it is about me that keeps attracting these kids. And I remember one day I was in a Penn Station waiting on my sub. And I'm just sitting there drinking my lemonade. And some little toddler, literally runs up to my table, says absolutely zero to me, and just stands there and stares at me.
That's what they do. They're odd.
Again, I look from the child to the adult, back to the child, and I'm like, get your child. And I'm like, this happens to me way more often than I'm comfortable with.
I don't know why so many people loosey-goosey with my kids, because I don't let them do all that. I
You
wish I
shouldn't.
would be in a damn bush. Get your ass out them goddamn bushes. I'd be so mad. I'm like, they ain't finna find me and send me no goddamn bill. Get your ass out them damn bushes.
Girl, I was like, well, yeah, I was just like, this happens with kids way too many times. For somebody that don't have kids, have no interest in having kids, don't even particularly care to be around kids.
They like you.
And I tell people that, I said, for some reason, kids love me. And I don't even interact with them. I'm like, they're like, well, why don't you interact with? I said, because I don't know how to talk to kids.
The same way you talk to anybody else.
No, you can't. You know them kids don't understand a lot of stuff, and I'm not about to be sitting there talking to no kid like they are a 30-year-old woman.
Well, you can't talk exactly.
Exactly.
Because for one, all they do is mainly ask you questions.
Questions I don't want to answer most of the time.
And sometimes it be real shit. You say,
I know.
I never thought of that. Now that you ask it, that's a very valid question.
And every time I'm around kids, just feel like I'm playing the why game.
That is what you're doing.
Well, why this? Well, why this?
They're learning the world.
Go to your mama to learn the world.
They're learning the world.
But this is the reason I don't want kids. I don't want to have to teach people the world. I'm still learning the world.
That's the messed up part. Told you what birth is like.
It's and nothing like you've been in a car accident to have kids.
Then you leave out. It's like giving birth is like a car accident. You in a car accident, but instead of getting healed, you now get told you got to take care of somebody else that was in the car accident. And they like, okay, y'all both in this car accident, but now you got to go home and take care of this other motherfucker. Anyway, congrats. And then they kick you out. Yeah. And you like, but I got a diaper on.
Not but I got a diaper on.
Why I gotta take care of somebody else who taking care of me while I'm taking care of this little thing? And you like, I remember I was just sitting there like, you literally ripped me open and now I'm in a pen and you got the nerve to be crying. you got the nerve. I was actually mad. I couldn't even get in my bed because he ripped me, and I like high beds. I had to sleep on the couch for 3 weeks. I couldn't even get in the damn bed.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I knew from a very early age, like very early, that there was never any kids meant for Jocelyn.
See, they told me I couldn't don't believe it when they say it.
I will say that. Do not believe them when they say you can't have kids, because
I wasn't even mad at it. I was like, cool.
I know way too many women that say that they were told that they were infertile and ended up having kids. And I'm like, that's wild.
I mean, I will say there probably is fertility issues because all of my life.
But fertility issues to me and medical community don't come for me if I'm wrong. But infertility issues doesn't mean that you are completely infertile.
And they tell you, oh, you not have kids. It's not like they say, you might have some difficulties. That's different. That's not what they say.
Yes, because that means that you can still have kids. It just might be a bit difficult. And you did have a difficult one.
I was like, I mean, I made it so far. I thought, I was like, okay, cool. I done made it. Everybody else already got kids. I'm still cool. Cool. I thought I made it. And because they told me I couldn't get pregnant, I was living life.
And God said, look at her. She thinks she's safe.
And I got slapped in the back of the neck with a sandal. And that's what happened. I was like, oh, no.
God said, it's time to put a pause on all this stuff she's doing.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Somebody actually asked me one day, because I was talking to somebody at work, and I told them I had to tell them something, and they was like, are you about to tell me you pregnant? I said, man, you know dang on well that I had a hysterectomy. And he said, God performed miracles all the time. I said, I would not consider that to be a miracle.
I don't know what that would be. It would have to be studied, because I don't know how that would happen.
To me, I'm going to warn the world and say, get yourself ready, because apparently Jesus number 2 is coming. Because how?
Give me my frankincense and my gold. Get your gifts ready.
Right.
Build my major.
I remember. Okay, so did you have so had you never had any pregnancy scares?
No, like literally that was my first pregnancy period. I've never had a scare. I never had nothing. I was never ever pregnant.
I had a pregnancy scare once in my life. And I went to the doctor and they did a pregnancy test on me. And when they told me, well, actually, it wasn't, I felt like there could have been a chance that I was pregnant, but because I was also, I had my IUD just taken out. And when you first take your IUD out, you're very fertile.
Yeah, dangerous time.
And I went back to get the new one put in. And they, of course, did a pregnancy test on me. And I told that doctor, I said, I'm telling you right now, if that pregnancy test come back that I'm pregnant, you better come back in here with a therapist. I said, because I am going to lose my shit. I said, you better come with a therapist. We got one in this building. But luckily it came back that I wasn't. I was so happy. I said, that's my dumb ass. That's what I would get. Didn't even have a hysterectomy. That was before I got the tubes tied and everything.
When I tell you, I was pissed. Because I was in denial. My friend was like, because I remember I was just driving. And I just was so mad. I was like, that was weird.
That would be weird for you because you generally are not just an angry person.
I was like, So that was odd. And then it happened again. Just that my mom was in the car. And she was like, you all right? I said, that wasn't that weird? And then she's like,
I'm back now.
And she was like,
She probably thought you were bipolar.
No, that Rachel was like, yeah. I was at her house hanging out. She goes, I think we're going to have to go CVS. I said, for what? And she's like, you know what? And I said, we're not going.
We're not going.
We end up going.
Well, yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to. Girl, soon as my pee hit that thing, I said, oh, why is it instantly coming off? Why? So why is it instant? Like the moment my pee touched that thing, because I didn't get the one with the lines. I got the one that just said it.
Yes or no? Oh,
I was like, oh no.
For some reason, I think that one's worse.
I said, oh.
But that thing, because it come back as yes, like everybody's gonna be happy about this.
Oh,
not
so
everyone is. Not everyone is happy.
The lines feel more clinical.
Yeah.
It's I was like, oh, but I'm lazy, so I got the one with the words.
And there's a wait time to the lines.
There's no, as soon as that
you usually get the one line, which is like, okay, so as long as that second one don't come up,
we all right.
We good. And then the second one starts, it faintly comes in, then you looking at the box instructions like, okay, so if it's a faint one, it's still no. As long as it don't get dark. You giving yourself hope throughout this whole process.
Charles, as soon as my pee hit that thing,
it was like, yep.
No waiting time involved. Is it? I said, God damn. That's when I went. And then they forced me to get that ultrasound. I don't think they do that no more. They're just at that time.
Well, with Roe versus Wade being reversed in these states.
Because I went to go try to get the pill. I said, I think I'm close enough. I can just get the pill, swallow the little pill, and go about my day, right?
Plan B?
No, the abortion pill. I was like, I got time.
Take enough Plan Bs, it'll be an abortion pill.
And I said, okay. So I got time. I went up there. They're like, oh, yeah. But.
Ooh, we gonna get it from the pro-lifers.
You gotta look at it. You gotta do the ultrasound first. I said, what? It's law. Like, it's not like they trying to be shady. That
I was
what
literally
it was.
just talking to some people at community about this, and we were talking about, if we got pregnant, abortion, and all that stuff. And I said, apparently in Indiana, whether it still is or not, I don't know, but told them about you saying that you had to listen to the heartbeat and stuff before you could actually abort the child. And I said, I would have heard it, then I would have said, stop it.
I seen it flickering on a little screen. I said, what? It's just a little bean. It literally looked like a little bean. It was just.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't want to see it swimming around there.
Just like that.
Nah. Now, about abortion. I'm not saying people shouldn't get abortion. People should have the right to choose for themselves. Me personally, if I were to end up pregnant, well, especially now, if by some chance God does make me pregnant, I'm just having the baby. Because I'm like, at this point, it was meant to be.
Well, that's how I felt. I was like, I sure did make it.
Yeah.
Farther than I was like, first of all, I was like, they told me. And then after I'm pregnant, I go deep diving in my chart. You know what's not present?
What?
Anything saying that I have fertility issues.
That's funny. It's not funny, but.
Yeah.
It's not like ha ha funny,
Yeah.
but
Literally nothing.
that's insane.
Nothing. It
That
was notated nowhere.
that would piss me off.
And I said, so I was like,
Well,
so
looks like I'm having a baby.
no, and I was just like, convenient that all of that. But they know that I've been trying to get my tubes tied though. That somehow was still part of my record though. All of my visits of me trying to get my tubes tied since I turned 18 was still present. But nothing about me having any fertility issues, nowhere to be found. Nothing
Yeah.
about nobody reporting I had fertility issues or anything, but everything was documented about me trying to get these tubes removed. Oh, that was all over the place, but nothing. I was like, so did they just make that shit up? Like, what happened? Of course, with me being like 18 and 19, it's probably stuff. Now I'll be like, no, I want that documented and in writing.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think the issue is? And we're going to be investigating, now as I'm older.
Right.
But
Yeah.
so that's wild. That was another tidbit that needs to be investigated. But anywho,
But I
yeah,
remember when my mother had a hysterectomy.
yeah,
Um, and I would help her with like changing the bandages and stuff because it was more invasive.
yeah.
Um, and I remember talking to her one day about her hysterectomy and what that means and all this stuff. And she said, "Well, it also means that I can't have kids." And I said, "Can I have one?" Now, mind you, I'm in 7th grade at this point.
You should know better than to say that in 7th grade.
First of all, this is when I'm just learning what a hysterectomy was. I did not know that only adults could have it. She just told me what it was and what that
You
meant.
should have known that one for you.
I said, "Can I have, look, I am a
Not can
firm,
I have one? I was like, girl, you should know you couldn't have one.
I am a firm believer that as long as you don't ask the question, you know the
And
answer
I'm
is
sure
no."
she's like, your body's still developing. No, you cannot have one.
Well, at that time, they required that you have kids, at least one. And she was like, "No, you have to have kids first." And I was like, "Well, that defeats the whole purpose. I want the hysterectomy to not have the kids."
Well, only way to not have kids is to have a lavender marriage. Should have gotten one.
Well, it didn't stop me because once the year that I got a gynecologist, every single year I asked them for a hysterectomy. And every year they
They told
told
you
me no.
no.
Literally, when I moved here and I got my gynecologist here, every single year, hey, you could go ahead and you can take it all out. I even offered to put my uterus on the black market. She was like, "There's no uterus transplant." I said, "Give it to somebody that can't have kids. I'm sure they can
That's
use
not how that works. It's not.
it." I just wanted the parts gone. And every year, they thought that I was going to stop asking at some point. I did not stop until I got a gynecologist that said, "Okay, when you turn 35, I will actually consider it because at that point you will be high risk." And I said, "Bet." So the year I turned 35, I made sure that my annual was after that appointment. Was after my birthday. Couldn't wait to go see my gynecologist. Was like, "Hey, I'm 35. Can I get that histo?" And she was like, "Are you absolutely positive you don't want any kids?" I said, 100% sure. And she approved me. And then I got it in January of last year.
That's the same doctor helped me get mine because I've been fighting to get them tubes removed for years. I was like, oh my God, my answers have been free.
Yeah, well, that's the
But
crazy thing because the same doctor that did my hysterectomy removed my tubes the year before. And she was like, "You already got your tubes removed." I said, "Well, I want to make sure that there's absolutely no way that I could get pregnant."
Well, mine ain't even about pregnancy. Because again, I can't get pregnant unless I do IVF, which I'm not paying to get pregnant. Sorry, I'm not doing it. And because I'm like, you know what? These periods sure are annoying. And now that I
Mine
can't,
were terrible.
well, they're terrible. But on top of that, it's like, now that I can't even get pregnant, what is their purpose? I don't want them anymore. I don't want to have a week of ugly draws I gotta wear every month. I'm sick of it.
The granny panties.
Yeah, the Hanes, the little pack of Hanes.
Mm-hmm.
I could just smell the unrolled with the little tape on them. Oh, because them ain't the good ones. Those are not your everyday underwear. And I'm just sick of the period products. Actually expensive as shit.
They're expensive as
And
hell.
and you know I like the bougie ones. I can't help
Right.
myself. I like the natural stuff.
I mean,
And
when
then
it comes
that's
to that, when it comes to
high.
those kinds of things, you literally are getting what you paid for.
You have to get the
You
good
have
ones.
to. I mean, I
I
guess you don't
remember
have
the
to, but
poor
you really
days. Remember
should.
those cheap plastic ones?
Oh my
Oh, and it would just
gosh.
sit there and make you uncomfortable. Oh, you can't. When I tell you that money being spent, but
This might be TMI,
yeah, what's up?
but the only thing I miss about periods is the period poops.
Yeah, because you got constipation. I don't be constipated, so
Man, I would feel so
like to
relieved.
clean you out like a day one period poop. Woo!
I come out that bathroom feeling like a new person.
Especially if you have coffee too, boy.
I do miss that, but everything else about it.
Not to miss it. Let's not scare everybody with our conversation.
Look, people need to know what it's like.
Oh, it's terrible.
And men need to know what it's like. And women need to know that we are with you. We've had terrible ones. I remember if I was on my period, just smelling something that didn't smell good would send me running to the bathroom throwing up. I'm like,
It's terrible.
it's terrible. Couldn't walk straight because the cramps hurt so
Yeah. So this
bad.
time I almost got fired because I passed out from the pain getting ready for work and woke up in the middle of the bathroom on the floor because I was trying to take a shower.
Girl,
Like
it's terrible.
passed out from the pain and woke up hours later. Just
It's
oh shit.
it's absolutely terrible.
It's not a good
But I
time.
was happy that I got the IUD. I got the IUD in 2011, I want
I'm
to
not a
say.
candidate because I had a cyst on my ovary, so I could never get an IUD.
Which is crazy because so when it was on my third one, so I had the second one taken out,
Yeah.
and for whatever reason they couldn't get the third one in. It hurt like a motherfucker, I'm telling
I can
you.
imagine.
And so I had to take like a couple weeks because I was just like, stop it. Just stop it. And they actually had to put me to sleep to get that IUD back in me, to get the new one in. And somewhere in that time, I developed cysts on my ovaries. And when they put the IUD in, I was in so much pain. And turned out it was because I had cysts on my
That's why they
ovaries.
don't like doing it because it causes complications too.
And I was like, I'm just happy I don't have to worry about none of that no more. None of it. I'm like, one of the best decisions. And I made two decisions that week. I got my hysterectomy that on January 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, January 12th. And I got my locks done January 8th and 9th.
You was on the road that week.
I said, let's go and get this hair situated. That way, while I'm recovering, I ain't got to worry about my hair. Then, I don't know, my body was just like, all right, get it together. Because when I went for my follow-up the next week after my hysterectomy, my doctor looked at me and was like, well, I guess our doctor looked at me and was like, you've already pretty much healed. And I told her, I said, if you don't let me go back to work, I am going to be in a new city tomorrow. But I am not staying home for 6 to 8 weeks with this. I'm bored out of my mind. And she was like, well, I can't deny what I'm seeing. You're completely fine. Your incisions are already healing up. They've already closed. She was like, so yeah, if you want to go back to work, Go to work. I immediately called them short-term disability because they hadn't even finished processing my not short-term disability, but short-term leave.
Yeah.
Immediately called them afterwards, said, cancel that. Don't y'all give me no 60% of my pay.
I'm coming back.
I'm going back to work. I told them either I go to work or I go to another state. And I had already decided where I was going. I was like, I'm going to St. Louis. So, yeah. Best decisions I made.
I'm gonna hit her up. Just wait.
Not just wait.
Because I'm over it. I'm over it because I mean, and as I get older, I feel like I'm getting meaner during my period. I think the PMS is getting worse with age. I said, "Ooh, I don't got time for this." I feel like it's getting worse.
I wonder
and
if
worse.
Some people still have like symptoms like PMS and stuff, even though they don't have periods.
Well, I told you I had those phantom pains when my body knew I took my tubes out. I'm telling you.
See, with
It
those
punished
things,
me.
I didn't feel a thing.
I didn't know. I felt phantom pains. And it's weird because of course I didn't feel my ovaries. And then I'm out with my fallopian tubes because again they just floating their asses around in there.
They just hanging out.
I don't know how they stay there, but anywho. So they just floating their ass in there. Then I said, what is this weird sensation? And then I looked it up and they were like, yeah, your body basically punishes you because it knows what you did.
See, my body ain't do none of that.
It said, oh, you try to play. Phantom pain. I was like, ah.
And I didn't take none. I took one dose of my pain pills the day that I had the surgery. And that was only because they acted like they didn't want me to leave the dang on hospital. Because first of all, it low-key pissed me off. They kept telling me that if I wanted to go home, first they tried to get me to stay there. And I told them I'm not staying here. Then they was like, well, if you want to leave, you have to pee first.
Yeah, those are the rules. Yeah.
And that's fine. But I'm laying there for hours, or at least it felt like hours. Nurse keep coming in checking on me, and I kept saying, I still don't have the urge to pee. And then finally, after like the third check-in, she go, well, you have a catheter. And I said, well, take this catheter out. Of course I'm not going to pee if you got a catheter in me.
Duh, y'all trying to keep me here. Why y'all cath me? And then tell me I can't leave till I pee. Well, I already peed. I just don't know that I peed. Girl, look at the side of this damn bed and get this shit. Like, I'd be so mad. Because you know that's where it is. On a bag at the side. Girl, you don't get this shit off the side of this
whole time. You know, sometimes you can make yourself by thinking. And the whole time I'm sitting like, girl, go ahead and get the urge going so that you can pee. And I'm like, God damn it, the damn catheter is still in me. Why y'all ain't take that out when y'all took me out of the damn operating room? Well, if the bag got
pee in it, I can leave.
So then they finally took the catheter out. Then it was like another hour or so went by. Then I went and peed. And I was like, get me out of here.
They didn't set me up like that. Oh, they didn't set me. As soon as I woke up, the catheter was already gone. Right. Like, I woke up, it was already, because they cathed me before I went in, right?
See, they didn't cath me until I was already out.
No, they cathed me.
And I said, why didn't you take that out while I was asleep? Because I heard that taking the catheter out hurts.
Yeah, they did it while I was still knocked out. It ain't that bad going in, but
it didn't hurt coming out either, though.
Well, I was knocked out. I don't know.
Well, I was awake. So
yeah, I woke up. It was already gone. They was like, hey. Because I did outpatient anyway. They didn't plan on keeping me. They was like, soon as you pee, soon as when you up for a little bit and you can talk and seem coherent and you go pee, you can go home.
Yeah, because that's what it is for tubalization. But mine was meant to be an overnight stay.
You like, nah.
I said, I'm not staying here. Because that's not going to happen. I'm going home.
I just would stay overnight. Man, whatever.
No, I'm not staying in this hospital. I'm going home. And then when I was leaving, I went to the nurses' desk to tell all the nurses, thank you. And one of them who didn't actually take care, she just knew I was there. She was like, didn't you have surgery today? And I said, yeah, I just had a hysterectomy. She said, you don't look like it. I said, I don't feel like it either,
anyway,
honestly.
I'm finna go home. Bye, girl.
That's why I wanted to see my organs. Because I'm like, I don't feel like I did either.
Well, Dr. Benson gave you a good surgery then.
Girl, they had me scared. Because first off, it started snowing that morning. So Dr. Benson was late. Then they got me all ready, got me in the gown and everything, sitting in the thing. Then the anesthesiologist comes in and he's reading what procedure I'm about to have. And he says what it is, and he said, so you're having a total hysterectomy. And I said, wait now, they supposed to be leaving my ovaries. And he said, yes, that's what a total hysterectomy is. And I said,
why'd you word it like that?
I said, why is a total hysterectomy still leaving stuff? I was like, I would think a total one is where you're taking the uterus and the ovaries. And apparently that's a radical hysterectomy.
I gotta look up some research on this before I go. They ain't tricking me.
So then he sees on my chart that my tubes have already been removed, but it was also a part of this surgery. So then he's like, well, they need to redo this because it has removed tubulization a part of it, and you've already had your tubes removed. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then, like a few minutes later, a nurse or something comes in, and she reads off to me what's going to happen, and she says with tubulization. And I was like, but I thought I already had them removed. And then she was like, oh yeah, let me go remove that. And I said, do y'all know what y'all getting ready to do to me?
Because y'all scaring me now.
Then I have never heard of anybody having an epidural during a hysterectomy.
Interesting.
But they come to me and say, okay, we're going to give you an epidural. And I said, whoa, I don't know nothing about no epidural. Because I've also been told that hurts too. Because it's going in your spine.
I didn't feel mine, but I was already in so much pain anyway. I didn't feel it.
That makes sense for somebody that's in labor. Me, who is completely fine and pain free.
You like,
I said,
I thought y'all was gonna put me under.
I said, I don't know. I don't know nothing about this whole epidural mess y'all talking about. So, and I said, where is my doctor? And they said, she's on her way. She got held up because of the snow. I said, I don't like this.
Y'all stressing me.
Every time somebody came in that room, my anxiety went up and up and up. So then they finally come in and they're talking about doing this epidural again. I said, I would really like to see my doctor before y'all give me this epidural. Because I don't know nothing about this. Finally, Dr. Benson gets there and she explains to me why tubulization is still on there. Because she said there can be still some fragments of your tubes left there. So they just to make sure they get it all.
That makes sense.
They added on there. I said, okay.
They could have just said that.
I get that.
They could have just said that.
Then she said, yes, I'm getting an epidural. I forget why she said, but I was like, okay, whatever. Now, I still have a lot of anxiety for this because, again, people that I know that have had, not everyone I know, but some people that I know that's had epidurals told me that they hurt. So the doctor that's going to give me the epidural comes in. He gets it all set up. They have me sit up on one side of the bed. He's behind me.
They don't want you to see it.
So, but mind you, I'm also the person that needs to watch people give me a shot.
You don't want to watch them give you no epidural. That needle like that big. You don't want them.
I have to because my anxiety goes up so high when I can't see what's being done to me, especially if I'm conscious. So he's behind me, a nurse is in front of me, and I start bawling. I just start
You lucky they didn't cancel your fucking surgery.
My anxiety
you lucky.
My anxiety got so high. I was holding that nurse's hand, shaking, and I was just apologizing. I said, I'm so sorry. My anxiety is so high. I have no idea what's going on. I was like, I don't know. None of this stuff I expected to have happening to me today. My anxiety is so high right now. I started ugly crying.
You lucky they didn't cancel your damn surgery.
I wanted to cancel my surgery. Like, literally, Jade, everything people was saying to me was like, this is news to me. I didn't know this was happening. So,
girl, what did the nurse who called you before the surgery call you and tell you?
She just told me I was getting a hysterectomy.
They supposed to give you prep information and
I was terrified. I was like, I don't know what I'm about to go in this room and get. And when they came out and said, "You not about to get," I said, they really trying to put me under. Why am I getting an epidural? And clearly, whatever Dr. Benson told me didn't ease my anxiety at all. Because literally, I sat on the side of that bed holding that nurse hand crying as the doctor was giving me an epidural. And mind you, I felt nothing. I don't even remember him giving me the damn thing.
You too
But
busy freaking out.
I was freaking out. Because you also know I'm a control freak. I was freaking
See, mine
out.
was nice and smooth. I didn't go through any
The
of that.
the tubalization was super smooth. It was the hysterectomy that terrified me. Because I'm like, what? I don't think y'all know what
I
y'all
don't
getting
want
ready to
another
do.
epidural now. I'm like, I don't want another one. I already have one.
And then I've also been told people get epidurals and then they have like back
Because I got back
issues.
pain now. And I'm like,
I was like, it terrified me. I was like, I don't know what to expect from this. I don't know what this needle going, because I do know, I knew it was a big needle. And I was like, I don't know how this is gonna feel. I'm just envisioning it being painful. And before they gave me, maybe it was the pain pills, because they did give me a concoction of pills to take too. Maybe like 15 minutes before I got the epidural. Terrified me. But when I woke up, I felt perfectly fine. I was good to go.
all that goddamn carrying on.
Look, you should feel how I felt. You'll understand why I was crying.
I should have just came with you. I don't know why I didn't. I don't even think I was doing anything that damn day.
No, my mama insisted on going with me. Um, but yeah, I sat and ugly cried. And then they made me promise to take at least one dose of my oxycodone that they prescribed
They didn't
me.
even give me the good shit.
Because you only got it was an outpatient surgery you
I
got.
know.
But because they didn't give me oxy with my tubalization either.
I didn't need it, but still, it
Right.
should have been offered. But
Not
anywho,
it should have been offered. Well, I didn't want it.
I wouldn't have took it, but it still should have been
I
offered.
almost didn't even go get that prescription filled. But they was like, Dr. Benson, she was like, take your oxy, and then she was like, you got Tylenol and ibuprofen, alternate those, and blah 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 blah. I said, I ain't gonna lie to you, Dr. Benson, I ain't checking for that oxy. I said, I don't know if I have an addictive personality, but I don't even want to test it.
Yeah.
And she said, well, make sure you take the oxy to stay ahead of the pain. And I said, but what if I don't actually need it though? If I'm taking it to stay ahead of pain that I don't know that I'm gonna have, why take the oxy?
I would just take the other ones, the little Tylenol, and then if those don't work, then I would have took that. That's just me.
Right.
That's just me.
But she was like, at the very least, take it when you get home. And I was like, okay, I will take one when I get home. And so when I got home, I went to go to bed. I slept in the guest bedroom because that's the room that has a TV in it. And I got in that bed and I was like, I don't want to take this oxy. I said, but because I told her I would, I am. I said, I don't want to make myself a liar. I don't want to go to hell for this.
You know, I take one.
So I took that one pill and never took another one. I said, I didn't need that damn oxy. I wasn't in any pain at all. Didn't have a singular cramp.
I'm mad you went home that same day. I'd have been that nurse like, didn't you have inpatient
Yeah, they wanted me to
surgery?
stay overnight. And I was like, no, no, thank you. Then talking about some you need to pee, but I still got that damn catheter in.
You did pee. I said it was on the side of the bed. I swear
I
it
can't
was.
believe them. Had me sitting here all that time eating grilled cheese. I did eat a grilled cheese. I threw up too after that too. But I guess that's normal with
Come down.
anesthesia.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, that be some of the best sleep.
That anesthesia sleep is creepy because you awake and then you wake up again. Girl, body be all weird.
Oh, that ain't never happened. Every time I woke up
No, it's
from,
like, because it's not like I wake up and it don't feel like I was asleep. It feel like I closed my eyes and opened them
oh
again. But
yeah,
I'm in an entirely new position in a new room. I'm like, what the hell?
anytime I woke up from anesthesia, I always wake up pissed off because they be making so much damn noise around me. I just be like, shut up.
No, I
I'm
woke up in that room. I
sleeping.
wake up in that room like,
Girl, you should have seen. So when I did get my tubulization done, I, I think it's the EKG that they put on your finger. And it
yeah, the
just be,
finger reader.
yeah, that thing was beeping, and it's
Oh, the
actually,
pulse thing?
yeah, it's actually what woke me up.
Or is that the O2 sensor that's
I
on your
don't,
finger? I
maybe
think
it's the
that's the O2
O2,
sensor.
but
Yeah.
it was beeping. And it woke me up, pissed me off because I was getting some good sleep. Do you know I politely, under my covers, took that thing off my finger, and then the machine started beeping
Beep,
louder.
beep, beep.
And then I finally said, "Well, what is the beeping?" And they said, "You took the thing off." I said, "Because it was beeping anyway. It woke me up." Like, get her ass out of here. Take her ass home so she can go to sleep. But yeah,
See, I was a good patient. I wasn't doing crazy shit.
I thought I was sneaking. I ain't realized it was going to tell on me.
I was peacefully following instruct. Well, I wasn't in pain, and then I just woke up. I'm like,
I wasn't in pain either. I was just inconvenienced because it woke me up and I wanted to sleep longer.
well, I understood why I was there. I was like, yeah, you were put under. They want to make sure you breathing. That's why it's there.
Well, whatever.
Because some people struggle to breathe, you know.
This whole episode was just about
Talking,
pregnancy and
yeah. And hysterectomies and tubes.
surgeries.
They're not a damn thing.
Surgery nightmares, neighbors from hell.
We just talking.
Hey, that's our life. I mean, what else are we supposed to do? It's a podcast about two friends hanging out. We're gonna talk.
That's what we do.
And I don't really like the whole having predetermined topics a lot. I get why we do it.
Yes, because you know us. We cannot just free ball it every time. We cannot.
But we also can't do topics every time either, because that's when our ADHD gets us.
Yeah, but it's nice to have at least somewhere to go.
And that was the whole Neighbors from Hell. And you see how that worked out? We started there and look where we ended.
I don't even know how we got over here. I don't.
Yeah, we started talking about terrible
How did we
neighbors
even get
to
over there?
surgeries. We went from neighbors to kids to surgery, no, to periods to surgeries. Hey,
That's what we did. It's okay.
I like it. Hopefully people vibe with it. I think people will. They love us. Some of
That's what I'm saying.
them. We are growing with the haters.
Where y'all come from?
I told somebody last week, I said, we done ended up on a side of YouTube that I didn't really want us on.
I didn't want us over there.
But
And I
hey,
don't know how we got over there.
somebody left negative comments, and I just was like, thank you for the engagement. Because we said this before. People leave negative comment.
It's still engagement.
It's still engagement. It still tells the algorithm, push it out. And you know what else
That's
is
why
going
we always respond.
And you know what else is gonna happen? The algorithm's just gonna show you our next one.
Cause you commented, fool. Now we ain't going nowhere. You gonna be there.
You stuck with us. Like,
Hey,
hey,
friend.
hey, keep your enemies closer. But I'm like, okay.
You gonna keep seeing more of us. The more you send these nasty grams, the more
Nasty
you gonna
gram,
see them.
nasty gram. I said, well, I hope you have a better day. Because clearly our experiences has pissed you off.
I said, if the shoe fits Cinderella, don't get mad at me.
I just think people are funny. The way people get so invested in other people's opinions and lives,
It's interesting.
it is very interesting. It is very,
I
very
don't care
interesting.
enough about anyone else's opinion that much.
Because you know what I do when I see a TikTok, a short, a video,
I
or
change
whatever,
it.
I just keep it scrolling. I'm like, well, that's what they think. So
I don't like that scroll.
yep.
My brain does not go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch it in its full entirety and then make mental notes of everything I hate. And
And
then
then I'm
goes
gonna
to the
leave it to the
comment.
comment.
And then I'm gonna call them ugly or something completely unrelated.
And then when they respond, I'm gonna not
I'm a
only
ghoster.
watch this again, but I'm gonna respond again.
Oh, see, I thought the ones that
Dude,
ghost.
no.
They have so
The
much to
ones that
say.
ghost you, I kind of get it. They said if they had to say they let it be. They really wasn't checking for it. But the ones that they didn't like it, they
And they
told you they
come
didn't like
back.
it, but yet they keep coming back for they have to say something. I'm like, look, I am that person
That will keep responding if you
that will
keep on.
keep responding most of the time to see how pissed off I can make you.
Because how do I nicely say it? We low key find it amusing.
I do
And
find our haters amusing.
we low key find it. We
I
like,
do.
ooh, we
That's why
like,
I have to
you see
stop
what they
myself from doing
said?
it.
And we
Yeah.
shouldn't be like that. But we'll be like, ooh, no, they didn't.
That's so funny because she is 100% accurate. I have taken screenshots of some of the nasty comments these
I'm
people
like,
have
why
left.
they so
And I just sit down and said,
bad?
girl, they are big mad over here on YouTube. They hate us right now.
Why?
I was like, they hate us. They said no one is like this, but this shirt got 50 likes. And we got more subscribers from it, so someone must like it. But according to them, they hate it and we're miserable.
And why we always miserable? Where'd that come from?
I think we pretty happy.
That's why they hate us.
That's why they hate us.
Because they ain't us. And they sad. Watching our videos. Thank you, though. We gonna keep saying stuff y'all like, so that just is. It's called a girl's perspective. If you don't want to hear these girls' perspective, maybe this ain't for you.
And that's okay. I actually did tell somebody
Everything
that.
ain't for
I said
everybody.
you can't relate to what we saying, and that's okay. You don't have to relate to it. You don't even have to agree with it. You could 100% think we are miserable bitches. That is your prerogative. I'm not going to stop you from thinking whatever it is you think. But don't you dare think that your opinion of us is going to change anything.
No, we gonna still talk about whatever we feel like talking
If
about.
anything, we just going to bring you up on the episode because somebody actually responded from their business page.
Which was messy. I
said, well, I guess I know what business I wouldn't frequent.
My first response was, it wasn't even about what their comments. I said, girl, is that a business page? That was my very first, like, ooh, you messy. You messy mess. You didn't even bother to log off and go to your personal page. Just messy.
Really ain't hard to do at all because all you have to do is literally go switch account.
Yeah. Real messy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bring my business in, but that's just me.
Somebody literally got on their stuff
Did.
And actually came to our defense. Because, she was talking about how, it was the one where we were talking about how if somebody deleted all of our music, how that would be terrible
and
for us.
It would be devastating.
Oh, but she was harping on the fact that I said that's diabolical.
Which is crazy, because that's evil.
She
it's
said,
evil.
her comment said, wow, is that what you consider bad? Really? How shallow is your life that losing a music playlist ruins your life? And I said, well, obviously it wouldn't literally ruin our lives.
It'd just be highly inconvenient, very sad.
Exactly. Exactly.
Highly inconvenient.
But also completely missing the fact that music is used to treat
it's a form of therapy,
decent of mental issues.
It even helps plants grow.
I mean,
it's everything.
Even with the show that I've been watching recently, I've learned autistic people will use music to help calm themselves. And I was like, so an autistic person typically needs more routine. So you think they don't have playlists saved that can help them do that? So if somebody was to delete their playlists, that could 100%
derail the whole day.
Derail the whole day for them. So I'm like, yes, music can actually be that important to people.
And why do you care? If music means nothing to you, that's fine.
And I literally told her that. I said, you're allowed to think and feel however you feel. This is clearly not something you relate to, and that's okay.
You too
Appreciate
diplomatic.
the engagement, though.
You too diplomatic sometimes. I'm like, girl. And it's sad because you could tell when it's me and you
Yeah,
comment.
you can't tell.
You can
You can't
tell. It's
tell.
like, you're good.
But the crazy thing is, people would think, like, if they just met us, they would think you would be the more diplomatic
And
one,
I'm
and I
not.
would be the unhinged one. No, no, I'm actually pretty
I'm like, you
diplomatic.
being too nice in these comments. But you
But,
see them first, and I'm like, there she go, because I be in that job fighting for my life. I ain't even got time to check.
well, somebody got
uh,
on, and she said to this woman, she said, "Were you angry when you wrote these comments?" Then she said, "Google the word hyperbole for me real quick." And I was like, first of all, I had to
I
reteach
haven't
myself
heard
what
that
hyperbole
word in a
was. I hadn't
while. That was a
hadn't
throwback Thursday, let me
yes,
tell you.
hadn't heard hyperbole since elementary
Someone's
school.
playing words with friends.
So
Someone's good
thank
at
you for
it.
taking me back to school on that one.
Educational moment of the day. Thank you.
But so I was like, oh yeah, that was a hyperbole. We did exaggerate that, didn't we? I said, no, she essentially.
But it's like they should have the common sense to know this was not a literal, you will literally die and you can't go on. It just would be terrible. The car ride would be silent. It just would be
I just
terrible.
be sitting there thinking, do you know how much work I put into my
But that's what
playlists?
I sound like. Then they gotta relearn you. Oh, it
It
took
would be
years to get
terrible.
into perfection. Years.
I mean, I got so many playlists in my phone. And I got them for different moods. If I need something that's going to boost my mood, I
See,
got
you
playlists
gotta,
for
you know what?
that.
I'm reckless.
I got playlists
Uh,
for when I just want to get hype.
do you?
Yeah.
I have one and it's liked music. I'm nuts like
That
that.
is just the default playlist
Yeah.
that every music
Yep.
app has.
And I just have 4,500 things in there that have no subsections or categories. It's just liked
Well,
songs. The kids have playlists, but I have just liked music because I'm reckless like that. I mean, of course, Spotify was sick of my stuff and made its own subcategories because it's like, girl, this is wild. It has it at least broken up in genre.
I used to have Spotify.
Love
I
Spotify.
moved away from Spotify when my brother got the Apple family thing, and he
Mm,
asked me if I wanted to be on it, and I said, well, I'm currently paying for Spotify. And he asked me how much was I paying for Spotify, and at that time I was paying $5.99 because I had the student discount. And he said,
yeah.
well, just give me what you doing for Spotify and I'll just add you to ours. I was like,
Bet.
I already got an iPhone anyway, might as well. um and I ended up going to Apple Music. But sometimes I miss Spotify.
I love
I
Spotify.
used to love
I
Spotify.
love it. But then I'm Android, so I'm not paying for Apple Music. That's silly.
Right.
I have a Galaxy. Why would I do such a thing?
Why would you do such a thing?
Not, I mean, I had an iPhone at one point, and I still didn't have Apple Music when I had that.
Well, it came with the iPod on it. It wasn't called Apple Music at
I
that time.
know. What year was that? I think I had no, that when they first came out the SE, I had the 6 Plus, and then after that, I had the SE.
I think I started getting iPhones at 4 before they started the
Yeah, the
SEs.
6. When I tell you that 6 Plus, that was the best iPhone they ever made. It was the perfect size. That was literally the pinnacle of the best iPhone they ever made was the iPhone 6 Plus.
Okay, I'm just gonna take your word for it. I don't think Apple iPhones has changed much
They
since
haven't.
maybe the 6. So maybe that was the best one.
That was the best one they ever made. I don't care what nobody say. So I'm like, that was the best
I
one
don't
they
think
ever
anybody
made.
gonna argue with you, but I don't think people gonna think it's that deep. But sometimes I'm wrong about these things
And I got the,
because the things I
yeah.
never think is that deep is the ones
Oh,
that
it be
people getting their
deep.
feelings about.
Because I switched back to Android after that. I said, I miss Android.
I I want to switch to Android.
It's so much work though. It's so much.
bad.
I'm not gonna lie. It's so
How
much
I described
work.
it to the people at community? I told them, I said, I feel like I'm in a toxic relationship. I said, because I want to leave, but everything is so wrapped up in this that it's hard to leave.
I get what you said. You know what? When I switched, The people at the phone store was like, we only know how to make Android go to Apple. We haven't dealt with anyone that switched it the other way. We honestly don't even know what to do. Because both of my phones were ringing at the same time. So I would call my new phone, but the iPhone would ring.
Because as long as
They
you're
didn't know to
on,
disconnect the dang on account from Apple.
because it's connected to your Apple account, yeah.
I had to figure that out on my own. I said, what is happening? Like, my text messages were showing to my Android, but my phone calls were going to the iPhone. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm
Help.
like, I got the Apple TV, I got the Apple Home,
You
I got
too
the
invested.
I got the Apple Watch, I got the Apple phone.
Luckily, your laptop ain't.
And that was me convincing myself I was going to get a MacBook. But I was like, no, you have to start somewhere. Do not get another Apple product if you're planning to switch at some point. So I got Samsung. And I'm just like, I still don't know how to switch. I'm like, I know, because I really,
You gotta wean
really,
yourself off.
I really, really want that Samsung Fold. I want that phone so bad. And I'm just like,
I like it. Android's so much easier. You log in, all you need is a Gmail. There is nothing like, it's so simple. And then Androids are designed to work together. So, I got an HP laptop. They
I
just
hate
so
HP.
conveniently. I love my little HP.
Every HP laptop I've had, I hate it.
Why?
Because almost out the box, they were terrible.
Mine ain't.
I think my HP laptop is the one that I threw on the ground because it pissed me off.
But again, mine is literally only for school. I use it for literally
That's all I was using it for,
nothing
too.
else.
But anyway,
I love mine, but I got the kind of more expensive one. I think that's why it's okay, I guess.
My Dell was a more expensive one, and it was terrible, too.
Really?
Yeah, this is honestly, my Samsung is the first laptop that I've actually owned that I actually think is worth a damn.
I love my little HP.
The only thing it's done to me is a few months ago the mouse pad stopped working. But I think it's because I kept connecting stuff to it externally, like external mouse. And the drivers were never getting updated for it. So finally I put everything on my external hard drive, backed it up, and then I just reset it back to manufacturer settings, and then that updated everything automatically. And now it works. I said, okay, so no more connecting external stuff to this laptop, even though I still do. It's just now I know how to fix it.
All I have is my little mouse. That's it. Well, my little cameras when I got to do my little test,
But yeah,
You got to start slow. Start slow by getting rid of Apple Music. You can start slow with that and get Spotify. It's $10 without a student discount, though.
I know.
I'm still paying $5.99. I'm gonna roll with it till they cut me off.
It'll cost me more money to get rid of Apple Music
because
now.
they smart now. They want to see a tuition, not just the email. They said, "No, we want to see a tuition bill or a schedule."
I used to do that with Amazon all the time. Sign up for that student one all the time.
Amazon.
And then when I went to school, when I started going back to school for my master's, I went to sign up for it. They said, "Nah, you've exceeded the number of times you can do this." It's like, no more. You will not keep getting no discounted price for this. You're gonna pay the same thing everybody else pay.
The whopping $7 a month if you pay month.
I thought it was $139.
Not a month.
No, it's per year. Amazon is per. Well, I pay per year.
Girl, I'm like, take $7.99 a month. I ain't got time for this. I'm not doing this.
No, I think I pay per year. Although I'm thinking about getting rid of that too. I can't tell you the last time I bought something from Amazon.
Oh, I buy shit all the time.
I used to.
Oh, all the time.
Now most of the time, if I have to buy something from Amazon, it's for the business. And I get that from my Amazon business account.
I buy everything from Amazon.
Nah,
I buy everything but drawers from Amazon.
Yeah, I don't really buy much. I done
started getting lotion and everything. Like, Jade, just silly things.
Yeah, I don't really buy much from Amazon anymore. But
I buy everything.
Anywho, as we were saying, we appreciate our haters.
Yeah, we showed it. We got off topic again. There we go.
Sure did. That's the ADHD. Thanks for vibing with us. But yeah, we appreciate the haters. We love the people that love us.
But y'all quiet.
Y'all are quiet.
Love y'all still though. That's how life is
on
though.
YouTube, they're quiet. TikTok, they be all the things that's so funny because the things where we get hate on it from YouTube, we get nothing but love on it from TikTok.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. So we get
it's the same message.
Same message.
Different platform.
Exact same video. Just different platform. But yeah, love the people that love us. We just appreciate the haters because whether they realize it or not, they still keep us being pushed out.
So thank you for your hateration.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
In this dancery, thank you.
You know, I believe you need your haters just as much as you need your lovers. So appreciate you. Again. Oh my God. Funny enough,
what's up?
The dude that hatfished me used to love that damn song.
The hatfish. Oh, man. Oh, no, what a time. Baby, how you doing?
We'll never have times like that again.
Oh,
it was such a good time. Such a good time to be alive.
Then the swag era, that was fun.
Yes.
Kesha at the club, baby. The Kesha period with the feathers and the dirt and the glitter and the fun.
I still want to go to a phone party.
Girl, those were fun.
I still want to go to a rave too.
Those were fun.
I want to go I want to go do that.
I mean, we can still do that now.
But we should find a place in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. We got to plan that out well.
We ain't planning nothing. We just go show our black asses up, watch that concert and go, okay, what we doing now?
I said that because the day after the concert, we have to drive 8 hours back to Indiana. Ain't neither one of us going to want to do that if we hungover. Do you remember Cincinnati?
Do you remember?
Okay, y'all. Well, it's been fun.
We do gotta plan something though, for real. We do.
We do. If anybody's gonna be in Atlanta for the Stray Kids concert in June, hit up your girls because we want to hang. If you're over 21,
and you know anything about Stray Kids, don't waste our time. Anywho,
also you can't be a Woojin hater.
We don't play that because
we love Woojin over here.
Yeah, because what Bang Chang did was messed up.
So don't come for us. If you don't like Woojin.
We are also the Cubs for Woojin. We support everybody.
What you say, baby.
What you say, baby.
Such a good song. He's such a good singer.
And he's more fine every video. And I don't know. I was like, how is he doing this?
He is good looking. But yes, if you're going to be in Atlanta for the concert, make sure you hit up your girls so that we can all get together, have some drinks. Again, you have to be at least 21. Even the older stays. You know, we out
in
here.
The group. We out here.
Yeah, we're considered
but
older
we're
stays.
Different because we got money. So we gonna have a good time.
Older states got the money, but I don't know. Some of these younger ones be finding money
what
to
they
do
doing something strange for some change.
They shenanigans because they be all up in. Remember when they hacked the mix, hacked the people's website? I said these people are hacking people's website.
They deserved it.
But anywho, like I said, if you're gonna be in the area, hit us up so we can hang, have some drinks, have some fun. But as per usual, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for vibing with us. Thank you for chilling with us. Hopefully you had a drink with us, even though Jay didn't have alcohol this time. I barely had alcohol.
They're good.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We truly appreciate you. Whether you like us, whether you don't like us, whether you're indifferent, we still appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. On our audio platforms. Make sure you leave a comment. Give us a review if you feel so inclined, and rate us. That would be absolutely great
and appreciated.
And if you have any stories or something you want to share, send them to us. You know, all of our socials and email and stuff is listed in the description.
Yes, let's have a good time.
Let's have a good time. Let's have a great time. But until next time, deuces.
Bye, friends.